Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Scott Schlemmer. I'm going to be your host today. We're going to jump right into this very quickly, very shortly here. Looking forward to delivering some exciting information for you guys. As people climb onto the call here, onto the webinar, I'm just going to share a few pictures of our leadership retreat that we had a couple of weeks ago. We just returned from Spain, our very first Visionary Leader Seminar, Spain 2015. You see the photo there. There's about 20, 25 of us. I want to thank the management group, the ownership group for recognizing all of us as leaders, the people that qualified and went out there. We had an amazing time. We learned a lot. We masterminded, and we had a great time in the culture of Spain. You can see here this is the group of the 20 to 25, whatever it was, of us that were there. I am if you go 1, 2, 3 from the left up top, right behind that beautiful couple in front of me, you see there Andy and Nicole. The bald guy standing on the chair, third from the top, that is me. And I am going to be the guy delivering your information today. So looking forward to it. More pictures of us having fun, hanging out, enjoying the country of Spain. There's a picture of my wife and I at one of the dinners. The food was amazing. The people there were really cool. The weather was outstanding. No bugs. It was very similar to me to the Southern California atmosphere. And you see here, this is a picture from the balcony of our room. This is the first morning. We got there at night, first morning. You see the Mediterranean Sea in the back. You see the 3-tier pool. Pretty awesome stuff. So just wanted to share some of this. And the reason I want to share this is not to brag and not to say how great I am, but it's just to give you incentive. You can do this and be on the next trip with us. So we're talking about possibly South Africa for the next trip. So some really exciting things coming up. So pay close attention to what's going on here. Here's the management team. Awesome guys. I mean, these guys right here are as good as it gets. I've been in business, entrepreneurship, worked with some of the greatest people in the industry. And I tell you what, these guys have huge hearts, not only for Visionary, but for the people involved in Visionary. And it is truly a family atmosphere. And that is what I felt like when we were in Spain. So awesome. Kudos to these guys. Thank you guys for everything that you do. So let's get into this. Today we're going to talk about three things, really. I want to talk and touch base and show you guys some of the crisis issues and things that are going on around the world that you may or may not be recognizing. Some of it is mainstream in the news, some of it not so much, some of it they're trying to suppress from us. And then I want to share with you a solution, an opportunity to protect yourself, to ensure yourself and your family and the future of your family. And then lastly, I want to share with you why I got involved with Visionary and the company Visionary and what it was that drew me in. So first, we got to talk a little bit about the global economy and what's going on. You see here in this little cartoon, according to our calculations, we can make it if we become a 6-income family. And that is not too far from the truth. I'm 40 years old myself. I grew up in a family. My dad was an entrepreneur. He was a business owner. My my mother was a stay-at-home mom, and that's how we lived. We lived comfortably. We lived, in a small town. We weren't super wealthy, but we lived comfortably and happy. And it's just not really that feasible in today's society. My wife and I are both business owners, but we both work. We both work to provide for our family. It is not uncommon to see people have 2, 3 jobs. The stress levels in today are really high. The health levels are low. It's becoming a real struggle for families to make ends meet. You can see here the inflation. Inflation is crazy. In 1993, I graduated from high school. In 1996, I graduated from college, and that's when the umbilical cord was really cut. My first year in the real world, I made 26, maybe $28,000, and I remember thinking to myself, man, I can't wait till I make $40,000 a year because I'm going to be rich. I felt like I was comfortable that first year. I felt like I could kind of do what I wanted to do. I could hang out with my friends and go do things with them, and it was just great. I just felt like that another 10, 12, $15,000 is just going to be like I'll be set for life. Well, as the last 20 years have progressed, That obviously is not the case. I mean, trying to live on $28,000 is considered poverty, really, in the United States now. It's really a difficult situation, and if you try to raise a family or do anything like that on it, it becomes impossible. So inflation has really become a problem. This one really is kind of funny to me because what you're going to look at today might not make a whole lot of sense to you at first, and that's completely understandable. You see this guy and his wife right here, they're ready to check out, buy their groceries, and he says, I don't like the looks of this. He's looking at the self-checkout machine. Now, 5, 6 years ago, most of us tried to avoid that. We didn't know what it was. We didn't understand it. We didn't want to deal with all the hang-ups when, it didn't scan properly and all that stuff. And now it's typically the first thing I look for when I go to a Target or a Walmart and try to buy something because it's become familiar with me. It's something that I've learned. Technology is changing the way we think and the way we process information. So right here, this one right here really touches my heart, hits me hard. Will my kids be better off? No, they won't be better off. I've got a 5-year old, a 3-year old, and an 8-month old, and I'm really, really scared for their future. Studies are showing that this will be the first generation that's actually going to live shorter lives than the previous generation. They are going to have far more struggles financially. They're going to have far more struggles with debt, deficits, and overcoming all of those obstacles. Long gone are the days of getting education, going out, getting a job, working for corporate America for 40 years, retiring, and living happily ever after. That is done. It is our responsibility to take care of our future. It's our responsibility to make sure that we are properly educated, that we are taking the right steps and not relying on the government to take care of us. You can see here our US national debt. Right now, today, it's at like $18 trillion dollars and growing leaps and bounds by the day. Not only that, but if you add in things like Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, programs like that, we are actually over $100 trillion in debt. At some point, something has to change. There has to be a change made. Now, I'm not a complete doom and gloom guy, and that's not what I'm trying to get at here. But somehow, somewhere, course corrections are going to have to be made, and we need to be prepared for it. You can see here U.S. annual per capita income versus national debt per capita. Look at 1990, it was almost over, actually, 2 to 1 income to debt. Now look in 2009, it has completely reversed itself, and it only continues to grow in the wrong direction. Ron Paul had a saying here that really hit home when I saw this, and it's really, really a scary situation of what we are about to face. And like I said, I'm not a doom and gloomer, but changes are going to have to be made. And is it going to be as serious as what we see here? Maybe. Maybe it is. Listen to what Ron Paul has to say right here.
I believe we as a nation are on the brink of a massive financial crisis, infinitely worse than the crisis of 2008. And that's because it won't be a banking and mortgage problem, but a full-blown currency crisis, the likes of which we've never experienced in this country. The savings of millions of people could be wiped out overnight. The stock market could crash by 50% or more. The way of life we've enjoyed as Americans for 50 years could come to an end. It's not a question of if this will happen, but when.
I don't know about you, but now is the time to prepare for what could be coming down the pipeline. Look at this. China approves usage of ruble instead of US dollar for border city. We're seeing the US dollar devalued. We all know that. We are all seeing that all over the news. China-Russia currency agreement further threatens the US dollar. The global collapses of governments here in Iceland in 2008. People woke up literally overnight and found out that their rent was twice as high, their groceries were twice as high, their car payment was twice as high because their debt to income ratio had reached a point of where it was going to break. Something had to give. You're seeing it happen in Argentina, Cyprus, Greece. We all know about Greece. Zimbabwe basically had their paper fiat currency devalued to worth basically nothing. This picture right here, actually, I wanted to share this with you guys. This is a picture I took while we were in Spain. One of the gentlemen that we were with actually had a $10 trillion bill. 10 trillion. He was a trillionaire in Zimbabwe. You know what that got you? It wouldn't even buy you a pizza. So he had to hang on to it for memento. So this is a picture I took. I thought was kind of ironic and kind of funny, but not haha funny. This is a serious, serious situation and crisis that we are facing. As we all know, the Greeks are lining up for hours to pull out 60 euros a day because the government has their money locked up. It's a scary situation. If you think it's only being held to third world countries or isolated countries, you're wrong. It is expanding throughout Europe. We are seeing it in the United States. At some point, something's going to have to give. And like I said, I'm not an all doom and gloom guy. There is opportunities and there are abilities for people to insure themselves and to make sure that they don't fall victim to this. Bill Bonner, the founder and president of Agora Publishing, had a great quote: "Digital currency is the first improvement in money in 5,000 years." And I couldn't agree with him more. So today what we're going to do is we're going to introduce you to a new currency, an opportunity to diversify your income, an opportunity to diversify your assets. It's a new global currency and an instant digital payment solution. Evolution of money. I would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about how this has evolved into this. It started out as commodity money, right? We exchanged our livestock and our crops for, our goods and services. And then we moved on to metallic money, gold, silver, precious metals, which essentially turned into then, the fiat currency, starting with nickels, dimes, quarters, and paper money, which is now being devalued because it's not backed up by any kind of asset. We moved into the credit card revolution, which has dominated over the last 30, 40 years or so. And now we've got a new revolutionary concept coming in electronic forms of payment. With the increase of technology, this is the biggest thing going since the evolution of the internet itself. What is cryptocurrency? So today we're just going to educate you a little bit on what cryptocurrency is. I'm going to keep this very basic and very simple, very easy to understand. It's your money in a digital form. So take your dollar bill out of your pocket, look at the serial number on it, take that serial number, and now throw the paper part of it away. And that is essentially, in its easiest form, what cryptocurrency is. There are no fees with cryptocurrency. You can transfer money worldwide instantly. Protection out of the hands of your government and bank. And this is really big based on what we talked about earlier. This is not tied to the value of the dollar. It is not tied to the value of the euro. It is not tied to any government or bank. It's an opportunity to diversify. I like to call it a digital gold. It's a solution to commerce, government regulations, and transaction fees. All you need to pay, get paid, and transfer money is a phone. It's basically as simple as taking a picture on your phone. That's how simple this is. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency in 2009. There are now more than 2,500 worldwide, but only really 100 of those have any type of value at all. Bitcoin appreciated in value from basically worthless, less than a penny USD in 2009 to today it is worth anywhere in and around $250 USD in 2015. So think of it this way. If you had $100 in Bitcoins in 2009, today it would be worth $2.5 million. I'll pause on that one. This is a great story. Norwegian man forgets about $26 Bitcoin investment. A 19-year-old kid, college kid, doing a thesis paper on encryption came across Bitcoin in 2009, threw $26 at it in 2013, turned that $26 investment into over $850,000. He bought a high-rise high-end apartment in one of the richest parts of Oslo, Norway, in cash based on a $26 Bitcoin investment. That is how big, and that is the kind of thing that we are dealing with here. Did you know that Bitcoin is actually accepted by more than 300,000 companies worldwide? It's basically like having a debit card or bank account on your cell phone. Dell, Overstock.com, PayPal, Tiger Direct, Virginia Atlantic, 7-Eleven, Expedia, And on and on and on and on we could go with this. Microsoft and many, many, many others are accepting Bitcoin now. Now, few of you may have heard of Bitcoin. Most of you probably have not and are Googling it or going to after this. But it is, most people think of it as some cyber entity that's out there, people that know what it is. They don't think that it has real value or real usage anywhere. But when you look at the opportunities, after you see this, I guarantee you're going to see Bitcoin and notice it more often when you're shopping online, offline, and everywhere in between. Bitcoin does not come without any challenges, though. As we all know, when you pioneer something, and Bitcoin is the pioneer into this space, typically there is a pioneer and then there is a settler, because the pioneer is going to have some challenges. Bitcoin is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I love Bitcoin. It is an awesome thing because it has created an avenue for us to, innovate and change the world and change the way we move money for goods and services. But it does have some challenges to it. It has no formal marketing strategy. It is perceived as an investment. It's volatile and fluctuating in price. So from day to day, it has a different value to it. The delay in conversion to global currencies. This is one of the big ones right here. It can take 15 minutes and up to 6 hours potentially to process a Bitcoin payment, which makes it very difficult to use on a day-to-day situations. It's expensive to mine. The hardware, the software, the electricity to get your hands on Bitcoin is very, very expensive and very difficult. Fortunately, here we have come through with Bitcoin 2.0 called Capricorn. It's a legitimate cryptocurrency just like Bitcoin. It's available on two public exchanges. You see there, bittrex.com and bluetrade.com. It's designed to protect and secure finances. It's designed to increase in value, much like the Bitcoin. And it's designed to be a global digital payment solution. It's the world's first MLM on the exchanges with our own blockchain cryptocurrency. So what does that mean? First of all, most of us that are in marketing, we understand that it's awesome to be into something, into a company early, right? Not only in this are you into a company early, but you're into a niche early. We're the first MLM on the exchanges with their own blockchain cryptocurrency. In that last slide, I told you Bitcoin had no formal marketing strategy, right? Visionary and Capricorn have a formal marketing strategy. Now think about the power and the potential in that. What makes us different? World's first MLM on the exchanges with our own blockchain cryptocurrency. Like I said, we are a second generation cryptocurrency. So we have instant payment solutions. So I told you Bitcoin takes 15 minutes up to potentially 6 hours. With the Capricorn, it's going to take less than 3 seconds because of the new technology. No one has the technology nor the strategy Capricorn offers. And we have solutions for you to pay with Capricorn anywhere you want. So here's how it works. As a merchant, if you accept Capricorn, you actually get paid instantly in your local fiat currency, in USD here, for example, in the United States. So it takes all of the risk out as a merchant. So if you're a merchant, you can eliminate the fees of credit card, merchant fees, and things of that nature by accepting Capricorn and get paid instantly in US dollar. That is extremely powerful. Value is based on true supply and demand, not speculative trading. It's got an attractive earnings potential. So not only can you diversify your assets, but you can also diversify your income. It's got a very low mining price and it's free mining time for members. How do you get started? You can get started today for as little as 97 euros, but we recommend getting started at the 297 euro level. You'll mine for Capricorn this week, 297 euros or $300. You invite people to this presentation and find two partners, just two people who want to protect their savings. Find two people who want to protect their savings and you can start earning an income today. So get back with the person who invited you and get started. Get your questions answered and get started as soon as possible. I wanted to share a little information on why I got started with Visionary and a little bit about what my decision process was in it. When I look and evaluate businesses, I look for three things. I look for leadership, I look for quality of product, and I look for timing. I look for things that are revolutionary, things that are innovative, things that are going to potentially change the world. And that's what we got our hands on here. I have been looking at, been fascinated with, studying cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin for a little over a year now. In April of this year, Visionary crossed my desk, and I knew immediately that I had to jump on this opportunity. I didn't know exactly what it was. You don't need to know everything there is to know about it. What you need to know is that there is an opportunity here that is very similar. I like to compare it to the internet in the early 90s. In 1990, very few people knew what the internet was. In 2015, it's on our phones, and we can't imagine living life without it. That is very much the stage of where we're at with cryptocurrencies right now. 10% of the world maybe has some sort of education on it, and only a fraction of that actually has more than a general idea of what cryptocurrency is. 90% of the world doesn't even know this even exists. Yet thousands of people have been made millionaires in the cryptocurrency niche. Thousands of people, and hardly anybody knows what it is. In 5 years, from right now, 90% of the world would be educated on this. And in 10 years, we won't be able to imagine living our life without it. That is what I believe is coming with the cryptocurrency revolution. And you have a chance to capitalize on this today. So get back with the person that got you invited. Get your questions answered and get started. I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside. If you need anything from me, reach out to me. Ask me any questions that you need. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Look forward to seeing you guys. Everybody have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the inside. Bye for now.